Get ready for the UWC On Air Power Hour, our weekly showdown of brain power and speed. As the episode kicks off, keep your eyes peeled for the electrifying Power Hour question. Answer it like a champ and you can score a fantastic UWC On Air hamper. But here's the twist. You must submit your answer within the hour after the episode ends. Ready to seize the spotlight? Good evening and welcome to the season finale of UWC On Air with me, Nkanyezi Skakane. Even though it's the last episode of the season, the excitement doesn't stop here. Here's what we've got in store for you in this episode.
UWC School of Pharmacy revolutionizes pediatric HIV care, turning bittersweet treatment into a sweet success. From date night kicks to reviving your old chucks, they've cracked the code to sneaker salvation. Fasten your seatbelts. We take a journey into the health and habits of Cape Town's taxi drivers. It's a ride you won't want to miss.
Brew Dubs is the hottest place on campus to see and be seen. Here you can get some mouth-watering meals and the freshest brew of coffee. Many of us, like myself, need our morning fix before we get the day started. Let's learn a bit more about the coffee culture that's percolating at Brew Dubs.
Brew Dubs is a concept that the university came up with. We are proud that it's our own brand initiative. We've thought of inclusivity, but the spark grew for student inclusivity and for the student and Vibe experience. This being our pilot store at the main campus, we have immediate plans to roll them out at our multi-campus facilities, one being at the Mitchell's Plain Dentistry Faculty and also at the Belleville Community of Health and Sciences building. The University of Western Cape is a university-led research institution, so there's continuous research into coffee and what it entails in the student experience. So as time goes along, we will definitely enhance the brand. There'll be initiatives for entrepreneurs, and the student population and staff population will be the beneficiaries. It brings that ambiance together. It's a safe haven, and coffee does it for the students and staff.
$1.8 million children worldwide suffer from HIV, with a shocking 50% mortality rate for children under 2 if untreated. But fear not. UWC's School of Pharmacy is on the case, revolutionizing treatment with kid-friendly medication. We caught up with Professor Marique Okamp and her team to understand more.
Early on in my research, I realized that there's really a big need for proper developed pediatric dosage forms. It's a common fact that the dosage forms that's applied for children or that's used for children, there are very little dosage forms and they lag behind that of what is available for adults. And that is where I started to investigate using natural compounds, so it's sugars, but safe and natural sugars that we combine in a very specific way, and that generates the syrup that or what we would call the solvent system, which is a syrup-based solvent system. Some of these solvent systems are so powerful that we can solubilize much more of the active pharmaceutical ingredient. And ultimately, that is just wonderful because that will allow us eventually to reduce the dose or the volume that is then administered to a child. It's a big challenge, and it's not only HIV or children suffering from HIV. There's children suffering from TB and HIV, from malaria, all sorts of diseases that's really debilitating and affecting children's lives. And to see children suffer unnecessarily, that's just not how life is supposed to be. And that is why I've chosen to take up this challenge. So not only will it treat HIV or TB or co-infected children, this is something that can be applied across the board for each and every disease that a child suffers from, each and every dosage form that's out there for children. We could potentially in future replace with this syrup or solvent system. So it's exciting to think that we are at the forefront of having developed this solvent system and offering a solution not only to HIV or TB infected children, but literally all children across the board.
After the break, buckle up as we hit the streets of Cape Town, uncovering the health secrets of taxi drivers. UWC's PhD graduate Derek Sekhala takes us on a ride to understand the food and health choices of taxi drivers in Cape Town, all the way from Athlone to Belleville. Stay tuned as we go on a journey into the driver's seat to uncover the tasty insights he shared.
My research focused on metabolic syndrome in relation to street food.
Okay.
So metabolic syndrome in a lay term is a combination of risk factors of non-communicable disease, or diseases of lifestyle.
Okay.
So this disease include hypertension, diabetes, obesity, waist circumference. I went to the field with someone else who was a research assistant, and then we recruited them, and then they were willing to take part in the study. They agreed to take part, and then we had a consent form where they could sign that they're willing to take part in the study. So the things that we considered in our study included the blood analysis as well as the anthropometric measurement. So for the blood sample part of it, we employed a nurse that was also provided by the School of the Public Health. So that then we accommodated at the taxi rank in a men's clinic, and then where we could conduct our research. So we collected the blood sample just to measure the blood lipids, and then we measured the blood pressure, we measured the sugar level, and then the anthropometry measurements so that we can measure the weight. This research, we actually aim to come up with the recommendations and the intervention to help or to assist these taxi drivers about their health, be it mental health or whatever health-related issues that we investigated. This will also look into the food that is being sold by the taxi, by the vendors at the taxi rank, so that they can be regulated. Remember, the food that is being sold at the taxi rank is not under-regulated as the food that you and I go to eat or to get at the supermarket or elsewhere.
Yes.
Because there everyone sells anything that is not regulated. The sugar level is high. the salt is high, the fat is high. So we need people that actually can go and monitor what is being sold and if it's actually healthy to be consumed. So the taxi drivers spend most of their time in the taxi rank, meaning they eat or they consume those kind of food each and every day. So imagine if having to consume unhealthy food for the rest of your life or for more than 20 years as a driving person.
Coming up after the break, brace yourself for a tale of courage, creativity, and change on this week's Them and Now.
The University of the Western Cape has a bold history which started from humble beginnings. What was once described as a bush university has grown into a forest of knowledge at the forefront of learning, teaching, research, and innovation. You, our alumni, have seen the growth of the university from its old prefab buildings to its recent state-of-the-art science buildings and the new Faculty of Education. Growth and constant improvement does not stop here. We need to keep growing to meet the needs of the future. We have a goal to grow the university infrastructure for the future to ensure UWC students are empowered with knowledge and skills for careers that don't exist today. We have a vision that UWC will be the home of new African knowledge. This vision requires resources. Those who have passed through these halls and walked these paths, we ask you to join us to leave a legacy for the future. All we ask for is a small monthly donation to help us achieve our vision and grow the rich history of UWC. In 2060, UWC will celebrate its 100th anniversary. Let us leave something today to sustain the growth and existence of UWC. Alumni, students, staff, and anyone who can contribute, let's make a small contribution today and grow the University of the Western Cape one brick at a time.
From Cape Flats to Beacon of Hope. In this week's segment of Them and Now, we dive into the extraordinary journey of Lynn Hendricks. We discover more on how she's empowering young women with perinatal HIV through the transformative power of art. It's a story of resilience, impact, and a well-deserved Inclusive Health Research Award. Stay tuned for this powerful narrative that's rewriting the script.
I am a girl from the Cape Flats who grew up to be a researcher, a scientist, as you may, social scientist, and I work at Stellenbosch University at the moment, but I am an alumni from UWC, did my master's in psychology here, and at the moment focus a lot on innovation and working in innovative qualitative research methods, community-based research, and really trying to bridge the gaps between community and science. In different ways, I suppose, in fun ways, in artistic ways, but also in ways that not only connect communities to science spaces or to academic spaces, also working with academics and researchers to open themselves and to be more warm and inviting. I'll tell you a little bit about how I came into the space of being a transdisciplinary art-based researcher. It's been quite a journey. I actually did art and physics and biology when I was in high school, which was a very weird combination at the time, but I quite enjoyed it. And I didn't know that this is where I would find myself. And when I went to university, I initially studied to be a zoologist. I wanted to work in the wild, out in nature, and somewhere along the lines, like in my third year, I changed. I'd taken so many electives in psychology and research methods that my mentor came to me and said, Lynn, maybe you should consider like switching from biology to psychology. And I thought, okay, that seems like a good idea. And so I ended up leaving with like a Bachelor of Science in Psychology with the honors, like a registered psychologist, but also with a science background. And at the time I was studying overseas, and I came back to Cape Town and I started the master's program here at UWC. And that was the first time I actually learned about qualitative research. So I think, I'm not going to give my age away, just the lecturers, some of them are still here. I lecture with them now. Like really just opened up my mind to this idea of community-based research, research methods that can connect with people deeper than just a questionnaire. I started, experimenting. And when I designed my PhD proposal, it took me a few years to get to the one I wanted. And of course, 2 weeks before the time, I changed my mind and wrote a new one. And I incorporated as many arts-based methods as I could. So like dancing, filmmaking, documentary making, art exhibitions. And because of my network of people, I could also draw in other experts and learn from them, learn from one another. The Springer Nature Award is really awesome. They have multiple awards that Springer Nature offers. One of them is called the Inclusive Health Research Award, and it's awarded to people or organizations who are doing scientific research but with a community focus, and that in the design or the implementation or the reporting of that research, people are involved in the process. So this project we called More Than a Pill, which is the documentary which emanated from the PhD, was submitted as a proposed project, and then people from the community are invited to submit reference letters. So these don't come to me, they go directly to the funder, and based on the reference letters and the evidence that other people from the community provide, the projects are then shortlisted. And to be honest, I really thought it was a long shot, when I thought, okay, I'm going to submit this and see what happens, because I could really do with the funding. And then I got an email and I thought it was spam, because there's no way an editor at Springer Nature is going to email and say, oh, your project's been shortlisted. I was like, no. So I just ignored it. And then a couple of weeks later, I got another email and it said, oh, we want you to come to Brazil. And I was like, okay, now it's definitely spam. So I ignored it again. And then I've got another email that said, Lynn, the announcement is up on the website. Your project's been shortlisted as one of 8. And then I went to look and it was really there. We went to Brazil in July, advertising this award for other people. And it really tried to take it into the South African context so that other South African researchers also get exposure for the work that they are doing.
Maybe you've got a favorite pair of Nike Air Force Ones rocking a sole that's turned an unfortunate shade of yellow. If this is you, fear not. We've got Sakile and Bafana, the sneaker cleaning wizards, who are going to explain the magic behind their business. We get the inside scoop into their innovations in the sneaker cleaning world.
So like, gents, which business can we start now that requires less effort? Then we came up with the sneaker cleaning business. Fortunately, growing up, he was very good with washing sneakers. In the township, it's more of a leisure activity than a business.
Yeah, it's true.
I've been researching sneaker cleaning for the past 4 years. I saw that the varsity had many students, and the business, in as much as it's here at UWC, the washing sneakers, it's more of a side hustle.
Yeah, true.
It has not been formalized. Yes, you're washing the sneakers, but what do you do with the money? Do you have any systems in place? So that's when I sat down with the gents, Usbusiso, Pedro, Bafana. Then I came up with the strategy. Bafana was like, we're gonna wash the sneakers. Then the following day, when we started, put out the posters, and a lady by the name of Zukanye brought in 4 pairs. We're like, what?
That's
we haven't even started. We don't have a track record, and now she brought 4 pairs. Yeah, from there we started working, and that was our first customer with 4 pairs, and everything has been growing to a point where this day, last week we opened University of Pretoria and they watched their first pair yesterday. So it's been glory. This is already a shoe that is supposed to be delivered today. It's already done.
Yeah, it's already clean.
Very brown. So we applied some of our chemicals. This is called the sneaker solution. So basically the sneaker solution deals with all kind of sneakers. If I can show you a demonstration of this All-Star. This is how basically this shoe looked like.
I've always loved my sneakers, so I always find ways to keep them clean. Meanwhile, I didn't have much in my pocket. So it happened. Our business just did so well. Then now we currently, what makes us exclusive, that we're also using exceptional chemicals, exceptional products for shoes. We use different products for white shoes specifically, and also for suede and every other material. So each material has its own solution.
As students, when you're about to go home, you know that you're going to be stepping out, going out, doing more socializing. So you need clean shoes, and I felt like it would be best to get my shoes washed before this time. And yeah, so it turns out I was their first customer. So quite, I guess honored, as I said, to find that out. And I think you could say I was their first customer, probably as well as their first difficult customer. I'm happy to have supported them. I'm a big advocate for a holistic experience in university. So don't just come to school, do more. Like, go above and beyond and really experience university as a whole. So to support them in stuff that they do outside of school was really great for me. I loved it.
Another thing that makes us exclusive is our turnaround time.
Yeah.
So basically we make sure that our turnaround time is between 1 to 4 days. However, if you want the sneaker the following day, we do make an exception. Let's take you're going to a wedding, or you're going to a date, or you're going to a date with your boyfriend. We're able to make sure that your sneaker is thin, and we're able to prioritize it. Obviously, based on the reasons given, we're able to also accommodate you. And I think that's one of the reasons we're able to scale from 1 pair to now crossing our 50. I think we're now on our 54 pair, and also gaining more traction from other universities.
And that brings us to the end of season 2 of UWC On Air. It's been an exceptional season, and we hope that you enjoyed each and every single moment. Please make sure to stay connected with us on all social media platforms. Like, follow, subscribe, repost, and check out our upcoming competitions. It's been a fantastic time being your host as Nkanyezi Skakani, spreading Zulu magic since '99, and we'll see you in season 3. Did you spot our Power Hour question during the episode? If you've got the inside scoop, send your answer to onair@uwc.ac.za. Remember to follow and stay glued to our social media pages to see if you're one of our lucky winners.